guess we start with maybe an update on how's Ross and how's Miles?
Yeah. So Ross broke his foot on that shot, so he's gonna miss some time, like 6 to 8 weeks, I'm guessing. And Woody is he's probably 7 to 10 days.
Is this a new thing? I mean, it feels like Miles has been, missing optionals and maybe looked like he's been playing through some things. Is this like been accumulated? Is this a new thing?
Yeah. No, I think it's something that's been bothering him here for a little bit. He's just been trying to play through it, now can't.
Upper, lower body.
Upper body. Yeah.
Coach, you guys have dealt with injuries in past seasons and players in and out, but have you dealt with something like that? I mean, we're 10 games into the season, you guys are down 6 forwards.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've been through it a lot, Every year we seem to go through a stretch where we're scrapping to get a lineup of 20. What makes this one unique is it's kind of just right out of the gate, and right around the time you're like hoping for some reinforcements back in the lineup, another few guys go down in Drew and Colton and Woody, but it's just, it happens to everyone at some point during the course of a season, I think, and you're just hoping that too many of them don't, pile up at the same time, but that's the case for us right now, and we just have to battle through it.
What's the latest on Lekanen?
You know what? That's a good question. He went for his doctor's appointment, but I haven't sat down with Matt yet this morning because we were pretty busy to get the update and see exactly what they told him about his return to play timeline. So I might have it tonight.
Is that ultimately just a thing where if he gets the okay from his doctor, he's ready to slot into the lineup? Or does he need more time to kind of get up to speed?
He probably needs a little bit of time to start taking full contact and everything, just to make in a controlled environment, and in practice instead of just jumping into the game. But what that timeline is, I don't know. But like I said, tonight I should have a clear picture on what they're thinking.
Coach, what's the message to the team, to try to keep their focus off the amount of injuries and just focusing on the game?
Yeah, well, I mean, it really shouldn't change, but what we're discussing is just controlling what we can control. I don't have control over the injuries or on who's in our room at any given time. My focus is coaching the players that are able to play for us, that group of 20 on that given night, right? And the players' focus has to be on doing their job to the best of their ability, on any given night. You can't get frustrated because it doesn't look the same as what we sort of picture it looking when we have everybody and the way we play and execute and all that. But the non-negotiable details of our game, they really don't change, If there was a systematic move that we felt like could help our team, we'd make it, And if we don't think that that's a benefit to us, with these guys out short term, then we won't. But I still think our goal is to focus on our process and how we play and how we compete and how committed we are on the defensive side of it and how hard we work to try and create goals. And we want to leave every game proud of the way we played, and regardless of the result, I think it's about building habits that are sustainable, that will lead to success long term. And there's no question, as you add guys into the lineup, then your overall game will look better. But we have a lot of our young guys are playing great and they're playing well in the role that they've been, assigned, and some of them are excelling in that role. So it's got to be a full team buy-in on what it's going to look like and what we think it should look like over the next 5 games, 10 games, night to night. And it starts with us being proud of, how hard we work and compete. And on the road trip, we were really happy with that, and we got the results. It just shows you what we're capable of if we're checking these certain number of boxes, right? In the last 2 games, Ottawa and Chicago, we split, and I didn't love the way we competed and the work ethic and our attention to detail. It just wasn't where it needed to be for some reason, and we only won one of them. We could have lost them both.
You guys showed him coming back in the lineup as a forward. You used him there at practice last week. What kind of conversation do you have with him, who has never played forward at the NHL level?
Actually, he has. He's played a couple of games there. But, yeah, he's obviously a defenseman. Yeah, so like, here's the thing. He's here, he's part of our team. He's got a great skill set that should translate to forward. Great skater, good shot, like I want him to be free and instinctual and just understand that like we got to get back above pucks in the offensive zone. He understands the D zone coverage. There's going to be things that'll be new to him, but he's a really talented guy, right? So we could call someone up to play there. But he's been out for a while, and I want to try and get him going. This can, like, if his legs can help us, and it's a bonus. And I asked him if he wanted to do it, and he was really excited to give it a try. Because he wants to play and he wants to try and help. So we'll try that first before we go another avenue if we have to.
Capo Kakanen's starting tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you kind of expecting, looking for him coming into this kind of situation with injuries?
I want him to do his job, save the shots he's supposed to save, and mix a couple more in there. Like that's. When you're talking about goalies, we're looking at like just provide us a quality start. I don't know what it's going to look like. It'll be hairy at times. There's no question. They're a really good team, talented team. They don't need a ton of chances to kill you because they finish so well. It's a good defensive team as well, but just like the same message to the other guys. I want him to go have fun. It's his first game of the year. It's why we send him down to go get some games and get up to game speed. Because he'd been sitting for a while, and now's the opportunity for him to go in and show us what he's got.
But new situation, but is there a lot of thought to who backs up? And I guess, do you have a backup planned for tonight?
Yeah, it's Gorgie's playing. Yeah, there's some thought into it for sure.
You're missing this many forwards. Are you looking for your defense to maybe create more offense, or is it kind of the opposite where you?
Yeah, no, I don't think a lot changes when it comes to like our attack and our plan. Like they have to be part of it. It's so hard to create offense as a group of three, right? Like you need 5 guys to be able to do it. So they still have to be contributing and getting up in the play within the details of our structure. And they've been consistent with it. Like they've been pretty good at helping out with us, and we'll have to make sure we're shooting the puck from the blue line a little bit tonight in the offensive zone and try to reward guys going to the net. Like for some lines, it's a simpler game plan, but our D core understands what that is, and they should be able to help contribute in different ways.
You mentioned like other like younger guys playing well. These are 10 games in, and I guess this could change, given there's more injuries. But Branton and McKinnon and McCarr are not playing like 3 minutes a game more than they were last year, or they're actually playing like a little bit less. Has that been something that's sort of like you could just hit that button, right? Like just play Kale 30 minutes tonight. But like if you haven't been doing it very much, is that something that's on your mind like for later in the season, even with all the injuries?
Well, I don't know about what you mean for later in the season, but like it's not like we lean on him when we need to, right? Like it's gut feeling, how's the game going? But the other lines have been responsible, so I feel comfortable putting them out there. They're doing their job, even regardless with the guys that are out. Like the guys that are in have been doing their job at a pretty good clip in our bottom 6, and we like what we're seeing. So, like overloading those guys with minutes, like it's not really sustainable. I know some people will get up in arms that we play, Nate 24. Like, I mean, he's perfectly capable of playing 24 every night, and he's usually at 22 or 22 and change every night. And some people around the league would think that's crazy, but it's not crazy for Nate. He's been doing it for 8 years since I've been here, and he seems to be doing pretty good. So, but we do watch their minutes, and we don't want to overload them. Like I said, we lean on them when we need to, and we lean on other guys in different situations to help us along. And we like the way it's going. We have to be a little bit more consistent in some areas of our game through the next 10 games that we weren't in the first 10. Like we have some room for improvement there, and everyone's aware of what those situations are, and we've been talking about them a lot.
Jared, if you can talk a little bit about first meeting of the season between the top 2 scorers last year. You don't face Kucherov very often, but you've prepared for him in the Ultimate Series, and you've seen him plenty. Can you talk about, as an opposing coach, when you pre-scout and look at video, what you see and what you prepare for with Nikita Kucherov?
Well, number one, I think the simplest form is you got to know where he is at all times on the ice, because And you got to understand that he's going to challenge you one-on-one in situations where other players around the league will move it to somebody else. And like the point's the same way. Like they're not afraid to attack you one-on-one and try to make something happen. They're skilled enough to do it, right? So as long as you're prepared for that and you're ready to check them hard in the right way, you're gonna be in a better situation than if they surprise you. But you also got to know that like as a group, you know, Tampa's top six is capable of making plays and finding guys in quiet areas of the ice where like Kucherov likes that, you know, right circle or opposite of Ovi, and he finds space and time over there while some other guys play with the puck, and you got to be aware where he is so you have a shooting lane or you can deny the pass. It's just a heightened level of awareness against top players is what you need. You know, you can look at a couple of their tendencies and explain it to the guys, but then when you're on the ice, you got to be aware that they're out there in the first place. So you have to manage the puck properly, and then you're probably trying to play them a little bit tighter than you do most guys because they can make things happen with less time and space.
Last one, Ryan.
Nate didn't skate this morning.
Yeah, he's good.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks.